One of the many coaching changes that we're following around the Lone Star State is happening in Rogers. A little bit of turnover going on there down at the Eagles, down in Eagle Land. They have a new head coach. The new head coach is a first-time head coach, but a guy who's got a pretty decent resume. We are joined by the new head coach of the Rogers Eagles. We are joined by Coach Charlie Roten. Coach, how are you?
I'm good. How are y'all doing?
We are doing excellent. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations on the new job. Why Rogers? Why was this job particularly appealing to you?
It was appealing because I think that Rogers is similar to the previous place that I worked, Gunter. The kids reminded me a lot of those kids. And then probably number one is just tradition. They want to be good. They expect to win, and hopefully we can get that done. But that was probably the number one factor in me accepting the job, looking into the job, and eventually accepting the job was just the tradition they have and the winning background they have.
Well, you're exactly right. This is a program with a lot of pedigree. You know, it's got 41 playoff appearances, which is fifth most in all of 3A, and so you're stepping into a situation where there are expectations to win and win quickly. How do you handle those expectations at a program that has such high ones?
Well, that's key to me. I mean, if you wanna be good, that's the number one factor. They expect to be good. So to me, that's not a negative. That's a positive. This is obviously a competitive business, and again, I look at that as a positive. They want to be good, and we want to be good. I want to be good. So definitely, I mean, I look at that as nothing but a positive.
And then I want to ask you about the turnover that has been down there in Rogers. You are their fourth head coach in 5 years. There's been a lot of change. These kids, especially these seniors, have lived through a lot of turnover.
Yes, sir.
What is your message to those kids that have been through? Now you might be the fourth voice they've had in their football career.
That's definitely a that I've already talked. At my first day, I talked to them about it, and individually, I've talked to kids here and there, and it's something that I'll address again. But yes, it's definitely, if there was a negative to the job, that might be it. But I think you just got to approach it. And what I told those guys, and I told the staff that I've inherited, and the guys that I will hire, hopefully, that there's nothing that I can do about what's happened in the past. I'm me. I'm going to be me. Things that I believe in, things that they're doing here right now that are great. I inherited some great coaches. But yeah, that's definitely something that it's not a great thing. But again, like I told the kids, there's nothing I can do about that, guys. I'm here. I'm the coach. If we all buy in to what we're saying as a staff, then I think good things will happen.
We're talking with Charlie Roten, the new head coach of the Rogers Eagles here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation at #DCTF Live. And Coach, you won fans all around the Lone Star State, including many of our staff, with your offense that you guys were running there at Gunter. And I guess first, two-part question. One, should we expect more of the same from Rogers? And two, why is that so effective? Why is your kind of flex bone, wide open option style of offense so effective?
To answer the first question, yes, sir. We actually got out there. That's what I just got done doing, working with the quarterbacks and the fullbacks, tailbacks, whatever you want to call them. First day we've done it. They look. I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm pleasantly happy, I guess is the best way to put it. They looked good. So yeah, we plan on doing that. Obviously, you got to evaluate personnel, what you have, but I feel like that was another reason the Rogers job was attractive to me, because I think what we do as an offense fits what they want and what these kids can do. Second part of that question, I don't really have a great answer for it. I think it's tough. I think that football goes in cycles, and obviously spread was huge. And it was tough to stop in the early part of the 2000s. And I think that maybe this stuff is probably less and less people are doing it. So, I think it's just defenses don't practice it as much as they have in the past against it, and I think that's probably the biggest thing to answer that second question.
You're inheriting a squad that does bring back a fair amount of experience. 8 starters on offense, 7 starters on defense. Is there anybody in particular early on in your time there at Rogers that has stood out that you think, okay, this kid may be a star for us this year?
Nobody in particular, and I'm not saying that negatively because, man, I've been extremely impressed with their work ethic, how they go about their business, their attitude. They're just overall, they've been doing a great job before I got here, and it seems like, since I've been here, they're doing a great job. So there'll probably be guys that, as we go through this, that I can look at and say, all right, I think that guy's going to be really good for what we do, offensively and defensively. Right now, they all look good to me. So
that's a good problem to have. If you can't figure out one guy who stands out, that probably means that they're all doing pretty well.
They are, and like I said, it's not not saying they're all equally talented. Obviously, everybody's different in that regard, but just as far as their work ethic and their attitude, it's been great so far.
I want to ask you about leaving the job at Gunter. Do you feel bad leaving Coach Jake Fizzell in a lurch? Do you feel a little bit bad about just
I don't feel bad. I hope he's listening. I don't feel bad at all. No, me and Coach Fizzell, we had a previous. I was at Gunter for 6 years. Mm-hmm. We had a previous relationship prior to that, more of a friend relationship, and our 6 years was great. I mean, you talk about a great guy to work for, a guy, in my opinion, and I've told him this, I've told the kids when I left, in my opinion, he's the best coach in the state, 1A through 6A, just from the things he's been able to do there. So, yeah, obviously part of me feels bad, but don't worry, he's supported me 100%. He wants me, he's excited for me, and he's going to get a better coach than me there. I can promise you that. So, he'll do a great job without me. He was doing a great job before I got there, and they'll do a great job, next year.
We're talking with Charlie Roten, the new head coach of the Rogers Eagles here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation, hashtag DCTF Live. And Coach, this is your first head coaching job, but you come from coaching pedigree. Your dad Willie was a coach in the Central Texas area or in East Texas for quite a while at Italy, Mount Vernon, a few other places. What has growing up in a football household done to prepare you for your first job?
I probably can't answer that in this interview because it'd take 30 minutes. But I was around it. I mean, I was on the sideline when I was in kindergarten and got ran over by a Division I top tailback in kindergarten. Almost killed me, I think. But just, just soaking it all in. I've, rode the bus, all that, all the way up until today. It's all I've ever known, all I've ever really wanted to do. Obviously, when you're a kid, you think about you want to be a professional, whatever, football player, basketball, whatever. But when I figured out I couldn't do that, all I've ever really wanted to do was this. It's in my blood, I guess, quote unquote, in my blood. But yeah, learning from just seeing my dad, just the things that he taught me, and just obviously things that he didn't mean to teach me that I just picked up from him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a huge influence on my life and still is today.
And I want to ask you, I want to close up the interview with perhaps the most important question. We talk to coaches all the time, and they say that behind every good coach is a great coach's wife, and your wife, Brittany, making the move with you to Rogers as well. But you guys are a little busy in your household these days.
Man.
You have 9-month-old twins.
That's right.
So right now, how much sleep are you running on generally?
Well, that's a good question. Right now, I'm getting more than I probably did because I'm living in the field house here in Rogers. She's back at Gunter, and she is a saint. At Gunter, I had a great situation. I was able to go home. I live right across from the school. I walk to school every day. So I was able to go home at lunch, check in throughout the day, help her with them. So right now, she's flying solo pretty much.
So she's taking care of 9-month-old twins by herself right now?
Yes. I love you, Brittany.
Yeah. No, you want to say that again? Like, I mean, we'll get right. Yeah. Goodness.
That's right.
That's
so she's the brains behind the operation. She makes it go. She knows that I know that. I've told her that many times, and I really, like I said, she's allowing me to work 24 hours a day if I need to. I feel like I do some days, but yeah, she's the man. She's the one that's getting it done.
Well, all four of them, the entire Roten family will be decked out in Rogers gear come September. He is Charlie Roten, the new head coach of the Rogers Eagles. Follow him on Twitter at Coach_Roten. Coach, appreciate your time. Congratulations on the new gig, and best of luck in the offseason.
Thanks, and like I said, thank you guys for everything that y'all do for high school football. It's special to me, and y'all make it special as well.
Oh, we appreciate it. There he goes, Charlie Roten, the new head coach of the Rogers Eagles. 9-month-old twins. Brittany Roten is doing that by herself right now.
Saint.
That's... I have to admit, I got that. I want to give it credit where it's due. Tim Waits at the Temple Daily Telegram has a story about that, and he mentions it just briefly. It's like, and that's pretty common in these stories, introducing the new coach. You say, okay, you run through their accolades, then at the very bottom you say, oh, well, they're married, and they have, and we're used to saying, oh, they have 3 kids,
right.
9, 5, and 2 or something like that. 9-month-old twins. Woo!
Yeah, I don't know. That's amazing.
That's a lot of work. So maybe we should have Brittany Roten on here.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's the play.
Yeah.
So anyway, our thanks to Coach Charlie Roten for joining us. Going to do big things. Going to do big things. If he can get that Rogers offense running half as good as that Gunter offense was running.
Yeah, I think some exciting stuff's coming in Rogers.
Well, and a ton of pedigree. And I feel like if they can get a guy to just commit and be like, this is my program,
right,
they're going to be right back in it.